Hey, what's up? Alan here from Damn Good Reviews. Today we're going to be checking out a mounting dream. So this one online has a lot of really good reviews. And this is the kind of heavy MD2296-24K. So what you're going to want to do is, of course, go on Amazon and check out the different ones that they have by Mounting Dream and figure out which one is going to be not only good for your TV, but also good for your wall. Because like our wall here actually has 16 on center studs. They also sell different ones that are for 24 on center. So you just want to make sure you get the right ones. So I'm going to show you, we're going to go through the steps, see what's in the box first, and then I'm going to hook it up on the TV, place it on the wall, and we'll go from there and see how easy the Mounting Dream TV mount really is. So we're going to go ahead and actually put these on the back of the TV first. So you'll already see that I installed the first bracket here, and that's what mounts actually on the track of the wall mount. So this TV actually came with some of its own mounting screws, and typically you don't really see this that much. So these are M6 25mm. Now M6 are pretty standard size for a lot of the mounting on the back of the TVs. But the 25mm, you're going to have ones that are a little bit longer than this, a little shorter. So this will work perfectly with the TV. But as I mentioned before, the Mounting Dream unit comes with all the different size bolts that you will need. So the only thing that's a little different is you're going to want the bolt and you want the washer that comes with it. And that's going to go through the actual mount here on the back of the TV. But this screw is actually a little bit longer than the ones that it comes with. So you can see right here the difference in it. So a lot of times if you start to go into the TV, it starts to tighten up because you can't go any further and you don't want to force it because you'll bust something inside. So instead what you're going to want to do is put the washer on, put that through, and then it comes with a bunch of various size spacers, and you put the spacer on and that will make it essentially the same size as the other screw. So yes, you can use any of these combinations that it comes with for your TV. The other thing is, this is kind of up to you where you want to mount it. And I put the bracket where it's going to sit on the wall, pretty close to almost this top portion of where the mount is, kind of making it almost like the center portion of the TV. So when I mount it, I know that's where the center will actually sit and I can tilt from there. But it's up to you where you want to go from there. Typically you'll mount the bottom one, which actually has a slide in it first, so you can slide up and down, and then you can select which hole. Just make sure that you select the same hole on both sides. So this one here is 7 down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. So I'm going to make sure that's the same here. There you go, one more there, and then you can always just line it up real quick. Make sure you're at the same hole right there, which we are. We're good to go. And then going to go ahead, put the mounter on there, or the spacer, I'm sorry. And then you're going to want to use just a regular Phillips head screwdriver. You do not want to use any type of power tool or impact driver because it is plastic and pretty light metal back there, and you will go right through that, most likely into the electronic board. So this other part here, this is probably the tab that sits and you can readjust things on the actual TV mount once you have it up. So you just got to hold it out of the way. Take this bolt right here, put the spacer on it, find wherever the hole is on the back of the TV. Get ready. I'm going to screw that into place, and when you screw it, just screw it down till it's nice and tight. Don't overdo it, and you're ready to go. So the next step is actually mounting on the wall. So now getting ready to start putting up the actual mount on the wall, and I did measure before using the stud finder. Picked up the TV, determined what height I really wanted it at. Now I looked on Google to see the different heights that they recommend or different sites recommend. They were all over the place. For 44 inches and below is like 50 something inches. That's really way too low. I mean, that's where the center of the TV, that's almost the floor. It's kind of ridiculous. And then a little bit further up was 61 or 62 inches, but we wanted it higher. So we have our middle template here. That way you can comfortably watch on the couch, and also make the wife happy because that's the height that she wanted it. So we have that set to go. The mounting template that they provide here has your different sizes, 16, 18, and 24. And you'll see that I marked it out on the wall. So these are 16 on center, and it's pretty much dead on. Nice thing about this is there is an adhesive strip on the back. A lot of times you gotta find tape or a push pin to put it in, so that's all set to go. That little stick bubble level is right there, so we can make sure that's all set to go. And then we can run it across one more time just to make sure that it is right on contact, and for the most part, it's right there. Same thing on the other side, right dead on, which is great, not only for the builder's sake, but also for the template's sake, saying that it is actually 16 on center. It comes with the lag bolts that you're gonna need, so you see all the different lag bolts. But what you don't wanna do is just start screwing that straight into the wood stud. That will split the stud right in half. So instead, you're gonna wanna grab some type of power drill and go ahead, and we're gonna make sure that's still level and ready to go, and make sure you're on the right one. So this one actually, it did tilt down a little bit right there. Now we're all set, level again. You'll see it's level with the lines. I'm gonna go ahead and just start. Right, so all we wanna do is really just start that hole, and then you can go ahead, take the lag screw and start it into the wall once we put the mount up. So I'm gonna go ahead, get the mount ready. And then the other part that I really like doing, you'll see these here, they do have a Phillips head on the end, so you could use some type of power driver with that. But I do typically like finding a socket wrench to finish it off and tighten it. All right, so I lined up the template, drilled the holes with a 3/8 inch drill bit, just started it so the lag bolt does not crack the stud. It says you can also do concrete anchors, just not drywall anchors. So if you have concrete for some reason, like in a basement, you could always do that. So now we got this almost ready to go. I started the screws here, just make sure it's tight, started into the stud. You may want to get someone to help you. It is kind of heavy to hold up. And then also they give you the little plastic level here, and I just plop that right on top there. Make sure that we are level. It shows that it is totally level, which is always a great thing. So just push this back real quick there, and I'll show you. We can go ahead, screw these in a little bit, and then I'm going to use the attachment that has the socket on it, which works a lot better, because you're going to want to make sure that you have the right size bit, otherwise it's going to slip out. So that's started really nicely. And then what I did here, these are some nice Harbor Freight sockets. This is a long socket. It has a little adapter that you can use for your impact wrench or screw gun. I fit it right on there. Fits the socket adapter really nice. Now go ahead here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish those ones up, and then what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna come back and we're gonna extend the extender arms that I attach to this that the TV will actually sit on. All right, so these are the mounting bars right here that are gonna attach to these areas right here, and then to the side there's a little hole that we can slip these in. So we wanna make sure that we're doing it from the correct side. We got 10 on this side and 11 on the other side. So with these support bars, you're gonna wanna make sure that they're mounted the right way. So this looks to be the correct way through the instructions. All it does is slide into place. You're not gonna screw it down yet, but we use the provided screws that it comes with. And we're gonna just go ahead, like I have one slid in here, go through the hole, slide it across, find the other side, and it fits really, really nicely. And this whole thing's really coming together. So we're gonna go ahead and put these screws in. There's 4 of them, so we're just gonna wanna make sure that's the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up, and then we're gonna put the mounting or the vertical connectors on as well, which uses the also provided screws, which is great. So this is definitely a little different than some of the other ones that I've used in the past, where they just have these other bars that come with it and kind of sit on here, and the bars are ready to go. So this is kind of cool. Probably helps for packaging, but maybe it makes it a little bit more sturdy as well. So that's pretty neat. Let me go ahead and just finish these up, and then we can actually use the Allen wrench. I was actually doing it with the screwdriver because I really wasn't paying attention. And it's actually, you can use an Allen, or it looks like a star key. So the screwdriver won't turn it, of course. That's always no good. So let me go ahead, grab the Allen wrench that it came with right here, Allen key, and I'll go ahead, tighten those down, and then we'll show you starting those up as well.
So I will say that if you have any type of technical or a little bit of a building skill, this is really easy to put together, even though we're dealing with a few different parts. Very easy to mount. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is really sturdy. The whole thing is very sturdy, all the different pieces to it, which is really nice compared to some of the ones that I've seen out there. So I installed the other side. This is pretty much just that vertical adapter, slides right in place there, keeps it from, I guess, bending or shifting. So you got that hard metal in place. This one uses the Phillips head now. So go ahead, let's start that. Screw there. And all this stuff is all numbered as well. So as you're following along in the instruction manual, it makes it really simple to see what has to go which way. You know, just make sure you're looking that these are mounted the right way. You're going to want the screw hole for the end mount as far to the edge as possible. So if you're trying to put that one that has the edge screw hole towards the inside, it's not going to line up. You're going to just have to take it back apart. But if you look in the instructions, it's pretty clear which way it has to sit. So that is nice and sturdy, and even on the wall, I mean, all lagged down. And you can kind of see, I'm not sure if you see it there, but you'll see the two different support arms in the back, which is really cool when it goes to a central area, but it's got the two support arms, and it feels like it's gonna hold a lot more. I mean, this is built for a 70-inch TV. It says make sure that everything is good to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna rip the wall down. There's almost no way. It supports 100 pounds, so you don't wanna do too much. So I'm getting ready to put it up, and I don't believe there's any other things that we have to place on the wall. I'm gonna go ahead, check the instruction manual one more time, and then we're gonna place it on the wall. So I went ahead, fastened these all up, and then you can adjust the tilt by undoing these a little bit, loosen up these from the back with the Allen wrench, and then you can tilt it a little bit. I think it's like 3 degrees each way. Use the level on it, and then to do the tilt from left to right, you can loosen up these. There's 4, and you know, I've used some other mounts where it's a little bit easier to rotate it with the 360. This made it a little difficult. It was nice to do it without the TV on, so I recommend doing that and get everything level. So we're getting ready to mount it here, and this is going to connect to the top of the bar, and then on the bottom of the bar it slides in place, and then this connects around it with another bolt, which is really cool, making sure it's really secure. A lot of times they're just like either, you know, tabs that will click into place. So this is really not going to move, which is really nice. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this onto the bracket up top, those little hooks. And I know you're going to say, hey, there's still feet on the bottom of this TV, but I will go ahead and remove that. So make sure you have someone helping you out with this. And go ahead, place it right on there. So now that's in place. And we're going to go ahead and lock those other brackets down. These down around that. So you definitely need someone else to hold it while doing that. Even if it's a lighter TV, there's almost no way around it, because I really just wouldn't trust sitting the TV right there while you're doing this, because you're going to be putting pressure on this screw. So you have someone else hold it from the front there. You can push it out a little bit so you can get behind it and turn it. And then we got that other one right here all tightened down. Like I said, that locks it in place, so it's not going to go anywhere, and then you're good to go. And then if you need to, you see these other bolts right here that will loosen up to turn it as you need. And you'll see it is mounted, it's pulled out from the wall, and I can push it back against the wall too. So overall, really easy to install. I know it took a little longer on here just to go through all the steps, but if you have just some basic technical ability, you can easily do it. Again, this is the Mounting Dream full motion TV mount. We have a 43-inch LED TV on here, but it will support, I believe it's set up to 70 inches, and it seems like it definitely has plenty of weight to do that. You see the two little mounting bracket, or the two little brackets there, give a little bit more support, lag bolt into the studs, and we are ready to rock and watch some TV. I'm Alan from Damn Good Reviews. Thanks so much for watching this demo and review. Make sure you click that little bell icon to stay up to date with everything we do. And of course, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.